8. The legacy of old scars. Krsna was drawn by a sorrow that smelled like mildew and old, unhealed wounds. It originated with a grandfather who habitually and cruelly mocked his granddaughter's minor childhood scars, a small, mean-spirited way of exercising power. The child suffered the repeated trauma of shame and public humiliation from the one person meant to cherish her history. Krsna focused on the grandfather. The black smoke that erupted from him was ancient, dusty, and heavy, tasting precisely of the grandfather's own unresolved childhood trauma. He had been mocked and hurt decades ago, and now, that pain was being unconsciously projected onto the innocent. Krsna absorbed the legacy of sorrow, freeing him from the burden of his past. When the child was returned, the grandfather wasn't sitting in his usual chair reading the newspaper. He was sitting utterly still, his hands resting on his lap. He was slowly, meticulously tracing the deep wrinkles and lines of his own weathered skin. As the child watched, silent, the man's gaze was far away, and tears of raw, clean sorrow, tears belonging to a boy who lived 70 years ago, began to trace paths down his face. He was finally acknowledging his own pain, a silent, profound step away from inflicting it on others. 9. The missing bedtime story. The sorrow Krsna detected here was silent and heavy, a deep, pervasive ache of unreliable love and betrayal. It came from a young boy who missed his nightly ritual, the safety of a bedtime story, because his mother was perpetually passed out, lost in the oblivion of her addiction. The child was forced to become his own guardian, tucking himself into bed with the constant, crushing knowledge that his needs were secondary to the bottle. Krsna took the mother, inhaling the black smoke of addiction, crushing self-hatred, and profound loneliness. This smoke was less malice toward the child and more pure destruction directed inward, which inevitably spilled out and hurt everyone nearby. Krsna took the overwhelming weight of her self-loathing. The child was returned to a mother staring blankly at a large bookshelf. The room was tense, but the air was clean. The mother wasn't drinking, she was immobile. She didn't have the strength to read yet, but when the boy tentatively crawled into his bed, she rose. She didn't speak or smile. She simply came over and sat beside him on the edge of the mattress for the entire evening. It was a silent, unmoving presence, but it was presence nonetheless, a fragile promise of sobriety and a reconnection to her role as mother.